Oh, let me tell you something. Bustin' makes me feel good.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Blockbusting, the podcast where we love to hate the movies. I'm your host, Jay Light. Joining me today, Alex Farivar.
What's going on?
How much, man? How are you?
Good. I'm a little tired, but I'm good.
You were up all night last night. You were just telling me that before you got on the show. Doing that old San Diego drive and back.
Yeah, and then, then I drove to Chula Vista for a friend's birthday after the show. Then I drove
Oh,
back.
my God.
So, yeah.
You're a wild man.
You're
You're living a very life of excess, just like the star of the movie we're talking about today, or the person who it's based on. Rather, we're talking about Rocketman.
The dude, Elton John's a wild dude. That's why I watched the film in the first place. I'm like, I'm excited to see this film, and then I was not excited once I started realizing it's a. Am I allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah,
it's a fucking musical.
It's a musical.
I can't stand musicals. I hate Chicago. I hate Moulin Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
I hate. La La Land. Like, I didn't even watch it.
You didn't watch La La Land?
No, just because I know I'm not going to like it. I can't stand musicals. I like Ryan Gosling, but I don't like musicals.
Before we get into Rocketman more deeply, I would like to know why you hate musicals so much.
Because it's the same reason.
Because I understand it's a genre that's not for everybody.
Definitely not.
It's very much an acquired taste. But why do you in particular not like musicals? What bugs you about them?
Everything. Like there's a scene in Rocketman to where I think that's when the first time where he breaks out singing out of nowhere. He's in an NA meeting, and he's like sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I used to have control over the drugs, and then all of a sudden he's like, well, now the drugs got a hold of me. It's like he starts singing in rehab. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I don't know. I didn't know it was a musical. I just can't stand. It's just cheesy to me. It's kind of like, just do a Broadway play.
But not even just with Rocketman specifically. Like, what was the first musical you ever saw and it was the thing that turned you on the genre? You remember?
Probably West Side Story.
Yeah, the movie version.
Yeah.
So, what did you expect going into West Side Story when you watched it? Did you know you knew it was a musical or no?
Yeah, but I didn't know exactly what they like. What?
Okay.
I think the first time I saw it, I was was fairly young.
Yeah.
So
How old were you?
I think I saw it when the first time I think I saw it, I might have been in middle school, so maybe like 11 or 12.
Okay. And you've never been exposed to a musical at that point. You see that and you're like, I don't buy this
At all.
Okay.
No, I can't. I just can't do it. There's something about it that it's just cheesy, and it's like I cringe watching these people. Like all of a sudden they're in a serious scene, they're having a moment, and then everyone just starts breaking out dancing and singing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's not cool, dude. That's like it's not real life. That's just it makes me want to.
Of course, it's not real life.
I mean, every time I watch it, I just kind of like it makes me want to die. Like when I watch it, I don't know.
You got a big hatred towards the musicals.
It's not a hatred. It's just I dislike it very much.
I mean, that sounds exactly like what a hatred is, almost.
I have no animosity towards it.
Have you ever seen a musical that you liked? I mean, you said I want to die anytime I watch a musical, which is not great. It sounds like you're trying to backpedal a little bit.
I was afraid that Bohemian Rhapsody was going to be a musical.
Okay.
And I mean, it was a good film, and I mean, yeah, the director's a douche, but
right. Well, that's the interesting thing, and this is something I didn't know. So I never saw Bohemian Rhapsody, right? I didn't particularly have an interest in seeing it.
I love Freddie Mercury, so I was interested.
Yeah, we did. When I was working on Historical Roast, right when this came out, right when Bohemian Rhapsody came out, and so we had a Freddie Mercury episode, and so a lot of people were like, "Oh yeah, we should go see Bohemian Rhapsody," and tie it all in, and I was just like, I'm good. But because when Bryan Singer was booted from the production, they brought in the guy who directed Rocketman. They brought in Dexter Fletcher. Yeah. So
he was the other guy.
He was the guy. He was the fill-in who took over Bryan Singer's job on Bohemian Rhapsody.
Was it just one director, or was there two that had to fill in?
I believe it was just him.
Just him?
I believe it was just Dexter Fletcher. So then, after the success of the way he turned Bohemian Rhapsody around, it looks like that is why they let him
Do Rocketman.
because he was doing some stuff. I mean, production wise, this is something that they've been trying to make. Elton John and his husband have been trying to produce a film based on his life for years.
It's supposed to be Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy was originally going to be in it.
Supposedly he like lived with him for a little bit.
He, actually, well, very first, before even that, Justin Timberlake, Elton John wanted Justin Timberlake to play him. And then eventually Tom Hardy was cast. Creative differences happened between Elton John and Focus Features. And so they moved the project. Tom Hardy was fired. Taron Egerton was brought in.
Tom Hardy was fired or he walked away?
He said he was no longer involved. So it's probably some.
Yeah, because he probably figured out it's a fucking musical, and he's like, I'm not doing this.
I feel like Tom Hardy would do a musical. Tom Hardy does all sorts of wild shit.
He's a master of disguise. I love that guy.
Yeah.
But I think when he wanted to do Rocketman, it was probably the same. I'm sure you heard Sacha Baron Cohen was supposed to do Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
And then they had creative differences.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was between him. Damn, I just forgot the guitarist's name of Queen. I just forgot Brian.
What's his name? Brian
May.
Yes, that's right. Brian May.
And
old long hair Brian May.
Yeah, Brian May wanted to make it like it was a PG-13 film. Originally, they wanted to make it to where Freddie Mercury would die midway into the film, and then the rest of the film would be about how Queen survived that tragedy. It's like, who the fuck would want to see that film? Nobody wants to see a story about Brian May, and then they want to see mostly Freddie Mercury.
Right, of course.
Guy's
everybody
provocative.
knows, right.
Yeah, he's a promiscuous guy. Guy had a crazy life, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sacha Baron Cohen wanted to be rated R, which, I mean, to me, a Freddie Mercury movie should be rated R.
Right.
Rocketman was rated R.
Right, but that was the other thing, is originally they were fighting with the studios because the studios wanted it to be PG-13, and Elton John demanded that it be an R-rated film.
As it should be. That's the only thing actually about the film that I'm like, okay, at least it's rated R, and it's showing like what Elton John was kind of like, but it still should have been a little bit more gritty, if you ask me, because that dude is wild.
So let me ask you something. From a filmmaking standpoint, you were interested in this movie. You like the story of Elton John.
Yeah.
Had you watched a trailer for it at all before?
Yes.
Okay, because I haven't. So we're going to watch the trailer together right now.
Maybe it was this trailer.
Because something tells me that it feels weird to me that you didn't know it was going to be a musical.
I felt weird that I was like, okay, did I miss something here? Maybe
I feel like maybe you missed
or something. Like I didn't know.
Because I think I saw trailers and commercials and I was like, oh, this is definitely a musical. Well, let's watch the trailer because I could be wrong, but I want to see for myself. Oh, I hate that they're doing this shit now, where they're like, it's the trailer starting in just a couple seconds.
Yeah, the trailer before the trailer.
Okay. Yep, this doesn't look like it. You couldn't not be a musical yet?
No, yeah, that's not, no.
Tune in my head. It was all there, I could see all the notes, and I just had to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit funny.
It's just Elton playing piano.
This feeling inside.
It just is what it is.
Your name was again?
My name is
Reggie!
Reginald Dwight.
Reginald. That's my granddad's name.
So how does a fat boy from nowhere
Okay.
get to be a soul man?
See?
Doesn't look like it's going to be
Gotta
musical
kill
yet.
the person you were born to be in order to become the person you want to be.
They're just playing some Elton John songs.
How could you not want to watch this?
Biopic, fun stuff.
You could be the best-selling artist in America.
Some storytelling.
I was trying to do something.
Feels very much
bold.
like yesterday at this
Something
point,
flashy.
where it's like we're just going to tell the story of a guy doing
I
music.
didn't see that actually.
Let them know who you are.
And just don't kill yourself with drugs.
So how does it feel to be a star?
See, no hint yet. Oh, that
See, that's a musical sign right there. A big now that I saw flashbulbs.
One of this is gone.
I just hope you realize you're
And he's singing songs.
at a show.
But not at a show. That was him singing a song in a hallway.
To see Reg Dwight. They pay to see Elton John.
Sorry.
I think we're getting. Yep, that's definitely a musical. Look at all this.
Fuck. Okay, well, by this point, I was already interested. I'm like, yeah, Elton John, let's watch it.
So you gave up
I gave up on
on
doubting
paying
it.
attention.
Stupid me.
Yeah, look at this.
But I thought he was having a drug trip.
You were never ordinary.
Haven't you ever done weird shit on drugs?
Yeah.
ODing? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, is this the part? Are they going to show him floating up? Oh, no, that's not in the trailers.
What a shy little boy you were.
Okay, so yeah, all right. Based on that trailer, I can see how you might
And I didn't
miss the parts where it's very obviously a musical.
Okay, so
I can see how you could gloss over that.
And the other thing is, I love film, so I go on IMDb all the time and I look up like what's coming up, and I knew about Rocketman when Tom Hardy was linked to it, so I'm like, I'm in.
Okay.
I don't need to watch a trailer. I don't need to hear anything about this film. I'm in. It's Elton John and it's Tom Hardy playing him.
Right.
And then eventually it wasn't him, and it was Taron Egerton,
Taron Egerton.
and he was good in
Kingsman.
Okay,
Yep.
so I'm like, okay, this dude's good, and he pulled off the look. So I'm like, all right, I'm not as disappointed as I was with Bohemian Rhapsody for Sacha Baron. Sacha Baron Cohen would have killed it.
He would have been so great.
He would have been so.
I
I
would
mean, he
love
can
to see Sacha
sing,
Baron
and he
Cohen.
would have done all that shit. He would have had dick and balls out, just like Freddie Mercury did. Like it
Yep.
would have been what it should have been.
And based on seeing what happened with Rami Malek, he probably would have gotten the Oscar.
Oh, he definitely would have gotten the Oscar. And like, if it was rated R, I mean, that film would have been something else. And,
Right.
I mean, it's not like I want to see a bunch of dick and balls, but at the same time, I want to see some accuracy. And Freddie Mercury was
and
a
Dick
wild
and Balls
dude.
is accurate.
It's accurate
in
with
Freddie
his-
Mercury's life.
Exactly.
Well, that's why everybody. This Rocketman is notable for being the first like studio production film to have a gay sex scene in it,
Yeah.
which it only can happen because
Was it Moonlight?
It's rated R. No, Moonlight's an indie.
Indie, you're right.
We're talking like studio backed. A lot of money going into it. I mean, Rocketman made so much money at the box office. It was $40 million budget. It made almost 5 times the budget. It made almost $200 million.
It's so far, its total gross has been over 200 million. I believe it. I
Almost.
believe
It's 195 million. But it did great. I mean, it came out at sort of a weird time in the year. It was a very early summer film. It was up against The Avengers and a whole bunch of other stuff in that vein. But it's
Like
here's
I
the
would have
thing.
gone to watch Rocketman over Avengers because I don't care about Avengers.
You don't care about it. Fair enough. But then what would happen if, I mean, you saw it's a musical.
Mm-hmm.
And did you see it in theaters?
No, I saw it at home.
Okay. So you watched it at home. What changed? You stopped watching it. You said you couldn't finish it.
No, it was like very difficult for me to finish the film because
Okay.
I think the beginning when he was in that meeting when he had that crazy like what was like a devil outfit on or something, it was like that red.
Yeah, the thing from the very beginning of the movie where he's got the devil and the wings.
And he's sitting in a in a
meeting.
and I'm like, okay, like this is
Some 12-step action.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
This is okay. It's interesting. And then he was talking and talking, and then all of a sudden starts singing.
Right.
And I'm like, maybe he's having a dream or something, or maybe this is some deep kind of. I'm like, all right, we'll let that go. Okay, because I didn't like that.
Okay.
I'm like this is not gonna work for me. And then the film continued on. Then you see his childhood. I'm like, oh, interesting kid. Wow, he's very musically inclined and talented.
Right.
Then all of a sudden. Like, what was the second part where they started breaking out singing when he got older? Because
They do I believe, let's see. I Want Love is a song. It doesn't really have like the musical numbery kind of energy to it, but he's singing I Want Love. And then the next like actual musical feeling number is Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, which is when he's playing, he has like the Elvis swoop and he's playing his piano in the bar. And then he's playing it. Actually, yeah. Do they have the Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting scene? Because I really liked this, just because I also love Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. But yeah,
did I also mention I cannot stand like kids singing?
Really?
Oh, I just want to kick them. I can't. I want to punt those fuckers across the room when they start. Like,
Oh,
have you seen that Cars for Kids commercial?
Yeah, but
every time I see it, I put a noose around my neck. I'm
well,
like, should I do
that's
it?
how everybody feels about the 1-800 Cars for Kids or 8777 Cars for Kids, whatever the fuck
Why would
it
those
is.
parents let their kids do that? So their kids can grow up 20 years later and be like, fuck you, mom.
But see, this is a cool movie to be. If you're the kid in Rocketman, if you're the kid playing Elton John, look, this is a great sequence.
Oh, you'll have a prosperous career. Don't worry.
Yeah, he's See? I'm on board with this. Because now there's going to be...
can't fucking do
We're
it.
going to have some fighting.
Oh.
Here we go. See? Look at that.
Yeah, some child in a bar with a bunch of grown men fighting. Totally believe it.
I believe it. If he's trying to get some shit to happen. It's also in the UK where you're allowed to drink at a much younger age than in the US.
At 10?
I think so.
Jesus Christ. No wonder their teeth are all yellow and fucked up
Yeah,
by
man.
23.
Oh, they're getting all fucked up.
This kid's like Andy Milonakis, like just a 40-year-old grown man in a bar.
See, this is the kind of role that, like, if I would have loved to have been that kid growing up.
One thing I can respect about this is what, like, the blocking they had to do before filming this scene is a lot of shit. I mean, this was all one take.
Well, yeah,
They didn't cut. They cut once he went through there. Okay, and now
because now we have
he's older.
adult Taron Egerton.
Yes.
See, look,
He
yeah,
did good.
Classic dance movement. This is the craziest thing to me.
Oh my
So,
God, this is like Grease right here, and I don't like Grease. So
generally, how I feel about this movie, I watched it. I didn't have a desire to see it in theaters. I like musicals, but I'm not like going out of my way to go see musicals. All right, I like this is like, okay, cool. This is well made. I appreciate this. I grew up doing musicals, so I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get tickled by that in the way that you're like revulsed by it. Like it tickles your gag reflex. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm on board with shit like this.
it's like a hemorrhoid that you cannot get rid of.
Right. Well,
It's
that's
like
why.
you're sitting on it and it's about to pop. That's how I feel.
See,
like
this is I used a bidet psychically, and that's why I'm okay with musicals. Because I've been exposed to it for a long time.
Did you do like Broadway plays when you were younger?
I mean, not like on Broadway, but I did musicals. I was a theater kid.
Do you have a clip?
Probably.
I need to see
Actually,
Jay
my
Light
mom
sing.
the other day, she sent me all this stuff she's clearing out of the house. There's a tape of me doing Oklahoma. I was in Oklahoma my junior year
so
of high school.
Okay, so you were.
But that's the thing. It's like there's musicals on film that I liked La La Land. I like stuff like this because I think it's a good. I mean, I love the filmmaking of doing a musical. It's
I should
tricky to
watch
pull
La La
off.
Land. I should.
La La Land's good.
I should watch it.
When I was going to film school, old school musicals were some of the things that we were shown a lot of because it's a very tricky thing to film the way that they did. Like the
Where did you
Busby
go
Berkeley
again?
musicals. I went to school in North Carolina. I went to this place called the Elon. Our teachers there, particularly in like my cinematography classes and cinema aesthetics was the name of the class. We spent a very long chunk in early cinema of looking at like Busby Berkeley musicals, which La La Land directly is
that what it is?
Is an homage to.
Okay.
Where it's these big sweeping camera movements and there's all this like very surreal and dreamlike imagery, like what's going on in La La Land. Yeah, so this is probably like what is this from? Singing in the Rain? Yeah. So Singing in the Rain,
That's
of course,
a classic.
But that's the thing. So it's a musical.
Yeah,
and it's
but
based in old Hollywood.
That's like the one I'll let go. I'm like, all right, fine.
So this is interesting to me. So why are you willing to let Singing in the Rain go?
Because it's just I don't know. It's a classic, and it's of its time. It worked.
There are other classics. Look at the Music
You're trying
Man
to sway me
is a
into
classic.
musicals, aren't you?
Have you ever seen The Music Man?
No.
I mean, I love Singing in the. I've never seen Singing in the Rain, but I or all the way through. We've seen
No,
clips
I
and
haven't
sequences
either.
from it.
Yeah.
But of course, you see stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
of
very
course.
old Hollywood. It fits in the things. You see a lot of great dancing. Good old Fred Astaire and its iconic sequences.
It's physical too. I like physical comedy, and
Right.
it's kind of got a
Look
slapstick
at that.
tone
See?
to it.
Very
Exactly.
slapstick.
See? So, but I mean, I went to film school too, so I love films, and I can respect like Taron Egerton. Like, I'm sure he wasn't a dancer at all before that.
Right. Well, he does his own singing in the movie.
He
So
does.
and I know
Okay.
I would imagine he had some sort of
Rami Malek
some
did not
sort of
do
training.
that in Bohemian.
Really, Rami Malek didn't do his own
I
singing?
don't think. I think they mixed his voice and Freddie Mercury's voice. If I'm correct, I'm
I
not
buy
sure.
that.
But
that's
Sacha Baron Cohen would have sang that whole thing on his own.
Yeah, I mean that's the real stark difference between Rocketman and Bohemian Rhapsody is we had this quote pulled up right here from Mark Kermode, who's a BBC film critic. So Rocketman actually portrayed the bad aspects of Elton John's life in a way that Bohemian Rhapsody took and it's made it sanitized and family friendly.
Exactly.
Because
that's the only thing I liked about Rocketman was it actually showed the dark side of Elton John, and Bohemian Rhapsody like maybe touched a little bit on it.
Right.
But
and that's the thing is, until watching this movie, I didn't know that not Taron Egerton. I didn't know that Elton John had a dark side. I didn't know that Elton John.
Yeah, he's been sober for like 30 years.
Yeah, he's 20. Yeah, he had 28 years. I didn't know that he'd gone. He was a drug addict and an alcoholic and all of these things. And it was as far as like a biopic goes, I didn't love it. Biopics are not a genre that I'm the biggest fan of because I feel like
I like biopics.
I feel like it becomes a lot of mimicry, and I feel like we're rewarding actors for doing a very easy job, which is just basically to mimic somebody.
Some people are very hard to.
But some people do good. Well, that's the thing. I think Taron Egerton did a great
Ray,
job.
Have you seen Ray?
I haven't seen Ray.
You have not seen Ray?
I have not seen Ray.
Okay. That's like a movie that you've definitely got to see. There's no fucking breakout singing out of nowhere either, okay? It's a man who struggled, who's blind, he did heroin. I don't know how, but he did, and he made music, and in the whole film, Jamie Foxx became Ray Charles. But
that's the thing. He became him. He mimicked him.
Yeah, but like that's hard.
It's not that hard. You just did it right there. You just flopped your head around like Ray Charles.
Like, damn, baby. Like, I don't know. He did it. Like, and then I'm sure they'll make a Stevie Wonder film one day. But
that's the thing. It's
I like some biopics. Like you. Okay, so you don't like biopics.
Here's the. Okay, let's talk for this year's awards race for a second.
Yes.
So Taron Egerton won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy for this movie.
Adam Sandler got snubbed.
And that's a whole other episode.
You don't even want to get into that.
I don't even want to get into that. I'm so furious that not just Adam Sandler, the whole movie Uncut Gems got snubbed.
Not a one nomination, right?
Nothing. So it got nominated, but Rocketman got nominated at the Golden Globes. It got nominated for Best Musical or Comedy, which makes total sense.
Yeah.
And Taron Egerton won the Golden Globe for Best Actor in a Musical or Comedy. See, I think it does make sense.
DiCaprio should have won because Joaquin's going to win the Oscar.
DiCaprio does not. I don't think DiCaprio should be nominated for Best Actor for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Really?
Yeah, I would have picked. Honestly, what surprised me the
Brad Pitt
most
stole the show
is that Taron Egerton did not get nominated for an Oscar for his performance for this because they already nominated Judy, or not Judy Garland. They're nominating Renee Zellweger for playing Judy Garland. And she's probably going to win the Oscar for it, which is total bullshit. It's total bullshit. Because this is the
Me,
problem.
Myself, and Irene. This
is the problem with when you have actors who are doing biopics and they play a role that is someone who exists. At that point just becomes like, who's going to do the best job of playing somebody who we already have a baseline of who can do the best voice? Can we look at the
still alive? You can just sit there and talk to them and be like, tell me what I need to know.
Can we look at the Oscar nominees for Best Actor? I think it was 2016. It was the year that Gary Oldman won for playing.
2016 DiCaprio won for Revenant.
Okay, so 2017 then. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, 2016 was The Revenant.
You're talking about Gary Oldman winning for Darkest Hour.
Playing Darkest Hour, yes.
Which was well deserved.
Well, this is the point I want to make. So let's look at the other performances that year, right? Okay. Best Actor. No. Maybe it's last year. Maybe it's 2018.
Oh, he did win last year because the film came out.
That's
end of 2017.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Came out end of 2017.
It's the year after that.
So who won 2017?
2017. That was Casey Affleck from Manchester by the Sea.
Also very well deserved, if you ask me.
Right. I haven't seen Manchester by the Sea, but because Casey Affleck is acting in that movie. He's not just playing somebody who already exists. Yeah, okay, here we go.
It's a very dark movie.
Let's look at the actual nominees here, right? Okay, so Best Actor, Gary Oldman won for playing Winston Churchill. The other nominees that year, Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, and Denzel Washington for Roman J. Israel Esquire. Now, I can't speak to Denzel Washington's performance in Roman J. Israel Esquire because I had no desire to see Roman J. Israel Esquire.
I didn't watch it either, but it's Denzel, so I'm assuming
it's Denzel. He probably did a great job.
Yeah.
I saw that. Yeah, he had like weird Frederick Douglass hair in
Yeah.
that movie. He probably did a good job.
He probably did.
He seemed like he was like an autistic lawyer. I have no clue what the movie's about, but I trust Denzel Washington to play people. But look at the other nominees, and realistically, I would rather have watched any of those performances from Daniel Kaluuya, Daniel Day-Lewis, or Timothy Chalamet and watch them again than just see Gary Oldman get rewarded for playing a guy who existed and wearing a lot of makeup.
But I mean, he did. Look, when you look at that list of nominees, okay, Timothy. I haven't seen Call Me by Your Name, but
He's fantastic.
but
in Call Me by Your Name.
Well, he's a great actor. He's someone that will get an Oscar one day.
Right, but this is my, as much as I get caught up in the hype of award season, this is my problem with it too. Is you get to see Timothy Chalamet. Of course, he's going to win an award at some point.
Yeah,
but and I can understand why they're not going to give it to him for that. But what about Daniel Day-Lewis or Daniel Kaluuya?
Okay,
all right.
For me, anytime Daniel Day-Lewis makes a film, I'm just like, well, okay, he's gonna get the Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one year, I think it was 2012, where he won for Lincoln.
Right.
Joaquin should have won for The Master.
I agree.
So
see, this is
that's
my thing.
okay with me that he didn't win for Phantom Thread.
I love Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the all-time greatest actors
Of all time.
You can't even deny
Makes
that.
a movie
No
every
one can
5-6
deny
years because it takes a toll on him.
But Daniel Day-Lewis winning for playing Lincoln, I have a problem with too, because Joaquin Phoenix should have won for The Master that year.
Definitely
Because
should have won for The
Joaquin
Master.
Phoenix actually played a fully embodied character,
Fictional.
as opposed to just somebody who already existed.
Somebody you can read about that you did when you were in 3rd grade as well.
This is my problem with biopics: is biopics are made in order for people to win awards.
Yeah, I agree.
That's-
I agree. I think they're just Oscar bait all the time.
Right.
Any biopic, it doesn't matter. I'm surprised they just made a film about Harriet Tubman, right?
Yeah.
Surprised that's not anywhere really.
Well, that's because it's a bad movie, from what I hear.
Yeah.
I heard it's bad. Cynthia Erivo got nominated for Best Actress.
Is it worse than Cats?
I mean, I haven't seen Tubman.
I haven't seen Cats.
I think no,
or
it's
Tubman.
called Harriet. Excuse me. I have not seen Harriet. I have heard it's bad. I mean,
Did you watch Cats?
yeah,
Oh,
that's
you're
the next
crazy.
episode I'm doing.
Oh, you're
is
crazy,
Cats,
dude. You have
Cats is infuriatingly bad.
You have
okay, yeah, it's got like a
patience. Holy
6.2 on IMDb. It's got probably it's got a 66. This thing, everybody says Cynthia Erivo's great, and she got nominated for Best Actress, but the other people who I've talked to about this movie, they're like,
I agree with
You
you.
can
Dude. I
skip
agree
it.
with you, dude. It's literally just Oscar bait.
but it's just Oscar bait.
But that year, though, what you're looking at, where Gary Oldman won, I don't see anyone else that should have won.
I think that Daniel Day-Lewis, Timothy Chalamet, or Daniel Kaluuya should have won over Gary
Well,
Oldman.
Get Out is. I recently made a list of top 10 films of the decade, the 2010s. Get Out was on. I think Get Out was on my top 10, not honorable mentions, but Get Out's a great film. It's culturally,
Get Out's great.
It's a very, very different, unique film, and I got the message behind it. It was great, and he did a good job. It's that was his breakout role. Don't
Right.
think that he should get an Oscar for it. Denzel Washington, like I said, I didn't see the film. Daniel Day-Lewis
In Phantom Thread.
Phantom Thread, because I'm a huge PTA fan.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so
I love Phantom Thread. What did you think about it? Sounds like you got some reservations.
let me put it this way: Paul Thomas Anderson's made like 7 films, right? So
7 or 8. Yeah,
I would say my favorite film of all from Paul Thomas Anderson is There Will Be Blood.
Right.
That's one of the greatest
Stunning.
films
It's
of all time.
It's my all-time favorite.
It's
Number 1.
It's definitely top 10 for me. Boogie Nights is like my number 2.
Boogie Nights is great. The Master's great.
The Master.
I really love Phantom Thread.
I
think Daniel Day-Lewis did a great job in Phantom Thread.
Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love. Those are his.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, Inherent Vice was a film. Actually, I was going to maybe do that on this podcast. But see, I have too much respect for Joaquin and Paul Thomas Anderson to ever publicly shit on that film. But I've seen it 4 times, and every time I watch it and I smoke weed, I'm like, what the fuck's going on?
He just publicly shit on it. PTA.
No, I'm sorry, Paul. I love you.
PTA, call in.
But I mean, didn't go too crazy over Phantom Thread, but it was a very good film. Like at the end, you realize what's going on.
Oh, because Phantom Thread is very secretly fucked up.
Secretly,
You have no idea based on the trailers what it's going to be about.
nothing.
But this is the crazy thing to me is Taron Egerton is winning awards for his portrayal of Elton John.
So is Adam Sandler, and he didn't get nominated.
But I think the surprising thing to me is that for somebody who is winning awards at like the top Golden Globe-y kind of level, to not get nominated for an Oscar for that.
That's standard.
No.
Anytime.
It's not standard.
Remember when American Hustle came out, the movie?
I do.
All the Golden Globes you can think about, and how many Oscars did it win?
It doesn't. It's not even about winning. It's about nominations.
Yeah,
I'm talking
it still got
nominations. It got nominated for Wolf of Wall Street. Leo DiCaprio won the Golden Globe. Got the nomination for Best Actor.
Who won that year?
Didn't win. Oh, I don't even remember.
2013,
2014.
Because it
It
came
would have been
out.
2014 Oscars. Yeah.
Right.
Let's look at that.
Yeah, look that up really quick.
But that's the thing is like, I think the craziest thing to me is Taron Egerton is my favorite part of the movie of Rocketman. I think Rocketman is not bad. It's not particularly great. It's very down the middle of the road. It's fine. It's a fine watch. I did not dislike it, but I was also, there's a point where I was like, this is basically just background noise.
Well, the only reason I was able to get through that film was because of Taron Egerton. So
He did a great job.
No, he did a great job.
A job that's worthy of at least nominations and perhaps from the Academy.
Okay.
But so look at Best Actor. Matthew McConaughey playing a real person, just being a real guy.
Who? Oh,
Leo
is that for
DiCaprio.
Dallas yeah. Okay. Never.
But this is the thing: Leo DiCaprio should have gotten nominated. Should have won. I would put him over that. I would love to see
over Matthew McConaughey's Dallas Buyers Club.
I don't give a shit about watching Matthew McConaughey be a guy with AIDS. I don't. I would much rather see. But that's the other thing too. Is like, I mean, I'm looking at this, and I also recognize that I'm contradicting myself because Leo DiCaprio is playing a real guy in The Wolf of Wall Street. He's playing Jordan Belfort.
I got AIDS in my link.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Yes, that this year actually, this is everybody's playing real people except for Bruce Dern.
Bruce Dern, yeah.
That's the craziest thing to me. I actually saw, I don't remember who tweeted this. Can we go to this year's Oscar nominations? There's a tweet that I saw, and I don't remember who it's from.
He deserved it that year, actually.
I mean, he probably did. Whatever. I also think Matthew McConaughey should have gotten awards attention for his portrayal in The Beach Bum because he's so good in The Beach Bum. He's so great in The Beach Bum. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I can't
Love
talk
him in
shit
The
because I haven't
Beach Bum.
seen Beach Bum yet, so I should.
Okay. Beach Bum is very fun. All right, so look at this is how crazy.
I'm excited for The Gentleman. I think that's a good Guy Ritchie film.
Everybody's got a big problem with a lot of the Oscar nominations this year. I think rightfully so, because I also think that they're giving lip service to movies that are not going to wind up winning any awards, but they're like, we're going to make it look like Parasite's going to do great, but it's going to win like an award. Here's the thing. So look at the roles that are being played by. Let's look at Best Actress and then we'll look at Best Actor.
Why is two popes? Who the fuck cares about two pedophile popes?
Old
Whatever,
people.
Same shit.
Old people care about that.
Who gives a fuck?
The old people who run the Academy care about that.
Yeah, because they're all a bunch of chomos, which is a street term for child molesters.
So let's zoom in just so I can make sure I have the actual people right here. So the characters that are being played by the nominees. This is how fucking dumb and insular the awards are this year. The people that are the actual characters, not the people playing them. The roles that are nominated are Judy Garland, a famed screen and stage actress, a television news host, a television actress, a writer, and Harriet Tubman. This is. I
haven't seen
Hollywood.
Little Women. Have you seen that?
I did see Little Women. Little Women's good.
I do want to actually watch
The problem is that you're nominating all of these people for playing like industry type roles, and then Harriet Tubman. And then for Best Actor, same thing. Best Actors nominees this year, the roles they played are a film director, a theater director, a TV actor, an aspiring stand-up comedian, and a
child
pope.
molester.
A pope.
Pope, yeah.
Yeah. This is crazy.
Same thing.
This is not a good year if you're trying to look.
Hollywood loves movies about Hollywood.
I know.
If you make any film that has any kind of correlation to like theater, writing, film, it's going to get nominated.
Which is also the thing that blows my mind is like, why do you feel like you got to nominate? Why do you feel like all these people have to get nominated? There's no surprises here, right?
Okay, I haven't seen Pain and Glory, so I can't say
I hear he's great. I hear he's great.
I heard
in
he
it.
did great. I
But
think you can take Jonathan Bryce, right?
You totally could. I would
him
say you
out
could
and
take
put
Jonathan Pryce
Sandler
out.
in there.
I would say you could take Leo DiCaprio out. Put in Taron Egerton. Put in Adam Sandler. Put in people who are
Adam Sandler can swap for Jonathan Pryce, Pryce,
who
but
are
not DiCaprio. Sorry.
But that's the thing. I think after a certain point, it's like this is the problem I have with awards. After a certain point, it's like we're going to keep it. You're only rewarding from a small pool of people.
Yeah, the foreign press.
This is not not even the HPA. The AMPAS is all people who are in the academy, right?
Yeah.
So you're all supporting people who are or your peers in the industry, but you're pulling from a very small pool. Like I think supporting actor wise, right?
Oh shit! Sorry.
I get why they're nominating Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt's probably going to win.
I hope he does.
He's not only is he long overdue, but he is the best part of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He stole the show, and I've always said this, like, you know, like I'm not gay, but that's a beautiful man.
Of course.
Just give that guy a fucking Oscar.
But the other thing is, what if we pull like Joe Pesci?
Fuck
I could
no.
also see Joe Pesci. I think would be very deserving to win for The Irishman too.
Yeah, he's the okay,
Al Pacino would be very deserving to win for his part in The Irishman.
No, Joe Pesci.
They all did acting that's on the similar level to what Brad Pitt's doing in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I would be totally fine with the Oscar going to any of those guys. But there are other supporting performances by less known actors or actors who have not won an award
William Dafoe
that are getting
Lighthouse.
nominated for stuff. Exactly. There's a lot of stuff in here that is not being recognized because they're just going to pull from the same pool of people over and over and over again. Supporting actress, same deal, right? Margot Robbie has been nominated, I think, I can't even
times
remember.
now?
Yeah, 3 times, I think.
She got nominated for I, Tonya and for
This is the most interesting category out of anything, and that's just because it has one person who's never been nominated for an award before, and that's Florence Pugh, which is, she's doing a good job in Little Women. She, I think, is the best part of Little Women.
just give it a Mama.
But no, that's the
Give it
thing.
a Kathy Bates.
It's going to be Laura Dern. Laura Dern,
Yeah.
again, very deserving. I don't think she's won an Oscar before. I could be wrong.
You think it's deserving for? I mean, she did good. And
Laura Dern's the best part of Marriage Story.
Okay, Marriage Story. Like I saw you had posted about. I liked Marriage Story.
I like Marriage Story
because
too.
it's relatable. It's simple. It's pretty much almost anyone in America, even millennials, can relate to that because most of my friends that are millennials who have kids co-parent, and that's what the film's about. So it's relatable. It's good. The writing was very good. I mean, I heard that literally word for word, verbatim. They read everything that was on the script. There was no improv. There was no go off what you think you should do. It's
right.
Stick to the script. So Noah Baumbach did.
So yeah, Laura Dern's been nominated
he did a good
for
job.
a couple things. She was nominated for Wild, nominated for Raymond Rose, and she'll probably win for Marriage Story unless some shit goes down. But that's the thing is Margot Robbie's been nominated for 2 awards. She got nominated for
I, Tonya.
lead in I, Tonya, and she got nominated for supporting for Bombshell.
She did really good in I, Tonya.
This is Kathy Bates, an Oscar winner already, right? Scarlett Johansson, double nominee this year.
Nomination.
And she's been nominated for other stuff before too. Florence Pugh's a newcomer. Florence Pugh shows off in Little Women and kills it in Midsommar. But they're not going to acknowledge
Haven't seen it.
They're not going to acknowledge The Lighthouse. They're not going to
No.
acknowledge any of the performances. Robert Pattinson could have gotten nominated for The Lighthouse, right?
I think Robert Pattinson was one dude. I have to admit, when he first started doing serious movies, I'm like, oh, this fucking Twilight guy. And then I saw Good Time. I'm like, holy shit, this
He's
guy's
so
good.
good in Good Time. But that's the problem. I think
Good Time didn't even get nominated.
we can't trust the Academy. We can't
No.
trust awards.
The Safdie brothers should have been nominated for Uncut Gems.
The fact that if we're talking Rocketman, right? The fact that Rocketman only got nominated for Best Original Song is insane.
Oh, is that the only Oscar?
That's the only Oscar it got nominated for.
I think it could have. I think
because Rocketman, I think tickles a lot of fancies of what they're going for, but I don't think Rocketman is a great film. But I'm
No,
like,
it's
yeah,
not.
I get it. This is fine.
No, it fucking
Give Taron Egerton a nomination. Taron Egerton hasn't been nominated for anything before. He's new. He's new on the scene.
Yeah, he's like-
he does a great job. Give him a nomination at
over
least.
who though? Antonio Banderas,
Jonathan Pryce or Leonardo DiCaprio.
not DiCaprio.
I think DiCaprio.
That scene in the trailer was all improv where he loses his mind. I mean, that was fucking great. When I was watching that, and
I
then
don't care.
the whole film, Brad Pitt. That's how I feel about Rocketman. Fuck this movie, dude. This musical. This guy's singing in an AA meeting, talking about drugs, and then he starts fucking singing about how he took hold of his. I don't know. I just can't do it. And then there was just parts of the film to where. It's the same way I felt about The Irishman. Like, The Irishman's a great film, but it's too fucking long. he definitely could have taken 30 minutes out of that film.
No, the Irishman is the perfect length.
You know what broke my heart when I saw that movie?
What?
The scene where De Niro confronts the guy that pushed his daughter and he beats him up. Can't even bend his fucking knees, dude. I'm like, oh, he's 70.
Yeah, that's why they had to do it super zoomed out. We didn't even have to watch clips from this movie. We got off on so many tangents, but I don't even mind.
Oh no, and
I'm glad that we brought this movie up because it sparked a real interesting conversation.
And I think I do need to go and watch La La Land. I'll do that for you.
You know what you should do? Here, do this for me. Watch La La Land and watch The Music Man. This is your musical education that I'm mandating for you.
They did this to me in film school. When I went to film school, you have to watch these movies that you know you're gonna hate. Like, oh fuck.
The Wells Fargo wagon scene is enough. I mean, listen. You don't even have to watch the whole thing. Watch the scene where there's Family Guy references to The Music Man. That's how iconic The Music Man is.
What year did Music Man come out?
Music Man came out, I think, in the 60s sometime, maybe the 70s. There's got to be, I think we could probably, what's the Family Guy clip for, Pick a Little, Talk a Little, maybe? There's got to be, if you search Family Guy Music Man, there's definitely like an easy reference that'll pop up.
All right, 2 questions though. What's your favorite film of 2019?
Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems is not only the best movie of 2019, but one of the top 5 of the decade. Yeah, here we go.
Top
All right.
20 of the decade.
Here we go. Shapoopy. This is from The Music Man.
What the hell is Griffin? It's almost time for kickoff.
Classic. Iconic.
What do you think, I got this for doing that car dealership ad. All right, enough messing around, huh?
This is why The Music Man is worth watching. If you're gonna throw in, if Music Man is an iconic enough musical that you can throw jokes in about it to a Family Guy episode, it's worth watching.
How long is Music Man?
Maybe 2 hours.
How many times do they start singing?
It's a musical.
The whole film. Fuck.
It's not an opera. It's not like Phantom of the Opera or Cats. They at least have parts.
You actually went to the theater and watched Cats. You're great. You're a good guy.
No, I thought I was going to have fun.
Did you eat shrooms?
Listen to the next episode if you want to hear me talk about Cats. See, look, this is straight ripped from The Music Man.
And a woman who kissed on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman who'll wait till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the girl he's glad he's found. She's his shapoopy, 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 shapoopy.
And imagine doing this not in Family Guy animated land, in fun musical land.
What's the name of the song in music?
It's called Shapoopy. See?
That sounds like how to say poop in Farsi or something. Shapoopy. I don't know. That's a very weird.
Musicals are fun. You gotta get off your fucking high horse about musicals, dude.
I can't. It's like I'm getting a brain aneurysm just like thinking about the fact I'm gonna watch this movie.
Not my fault. See, look, here's that real Shapoopy. The real Shapoopy magic coming in right now. Because also, this is not totally out of line. This makes sense. They're having a dance party right now.
Can you imagine doing that in a film? They're just like,
well, of course,
fucking no way.
That's the problem. This is your problem. Is you're trying to separate musicals from real life. You can't. The whole point is that it's not real life.
Well,
the whole point is it is fantastical.
That's why I've never been a big fan of like Avengers films because I'm like I just when I watch a film I'm not saying I always want to feel like I'm watching real life, but I want to feel like in some way that this could be like it's somewhat pragmatic, right? Like this is what could happen. Like Uncut Gems. I mean, as someone who kind of had a gambling problem when I was younger, I was sweating the whole time watching it. So it was that was one of my favorite films of the decade.
We gotta wrap up. I'm with you there. Go watch some musicals.
I will.
Go watch some musicals.
You said The Music Man and La La Land, right?
Go watch The Music Man. Go watch La La Land. And I'm gonna stick my followers on you on your social media to make sure you watch some stuff. So what's the place that they can tell you to go watch musicals at?
You can harass me about these fucking musicals on Instagram. It was probably Alex.
And you have a Twitter or just Instagram?
I don't really use Twitter.
Instagram it is.
Instagram it is.
Let's stick it to that.
That's it.
You can find me at Diet J on Twitter and Instagram, jlightcomedy.com for show dates. And if you like the show, tell a friend, subscribe on Patreon, join the Facebook group, all that good stuff. You know the drill.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for bringing up
Thanks for
Rocketman,
having
dude.
me, dude. Love you, man.
Love
Thanks,
you, buddy. Long handshakes. This has been Blockbusting. Go see something good for a change.
Not musicals.
Shapoopy.
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 Don't watch musicals.